Because fueling during your run is so important and running gels are so expensive, I figured out how to make my own gels using the exact same ingredients that the big manufacturers use to make their gels. So let's go over what we need to make our own running gel. First, we need some pots and pans to heat up the solution. Then we need our main ingredients, which is fructose and maltodextrin. Then you need something to put your solution in while you're running. I've got two 250 milliliters bottles, so in total of 500 milliliters. You need a scale. You need some way to put the solution into your bottles or containers. So studies have shown that your digestive system cannot handle one type of carbohydrate at a time, or can't do it very efficiently. So when you're running, there's not a lot of blood in your digestive system because most of it is in your limbs and your legs and so on, trying to get your muscles to work. So what happens is it can't digest one type of carbohydrate very well. That is why you would want to split your carbohydrates into two different sources. So think of it this way. You've got a city that needs to be evacuated. If you've got one highway out of the city, that highway is going to get congested very quickly and you won't be able to move a lot of citizens out of the city. But if you've got two highways going out of that city, you can move all the citizens on two highways and get them out of the city quickly enough. That's why we want to have two sources of carbohydrates. I use a 1-to-1 ratio. So I've got my normal glucose at 1 and I use fructose as a second source and I use that as 1. So if I would decide to have a solution of 60 carbohydrates per hour, I would have 30 of the one and 30 of the other one. So my glucose is in the form of maltodextrin that you can buy in bulk from a lot of shops online. And then I've got normal fructose that I actually buy from the same source where I get the maltodextrin. Okay, so let's calculate how much carbs we're going to put in our solution. So what I want now is I want 100 carbs per hour, and my run for tomorrow is going to be just shy of 2 hours. So I'm going to make a solution to last me the 2 hours. So 100 grams per hour means I need 200 grams for the 2 hours. And because I've got the two sources, the 200 divided by 2 is 100 each. So I need 100 grams of fructose and 100 grams of glucose, which I'm going to dissolve into water. And then I will split that water into my 2 bottles. And then every 20 minutes, I'll take a certain amount from it. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be very accurate. If you think about it, you've got 2 bottles. Let's say we're gonna run for 2 hours. We're going to drink on 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and 60 minutes. Then again on 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and 60 minutes. So it's going to be about 6 times that we need to drink. So every time we take a sip out of one of these bottles, we need to take about 1/3 of it. So we've got 3 dosages in each bottle, which will last us then for 2 hours. Obviously, if you're going to run longer, you want to make your solution stronger. And then because you've still only got the 2 bottles, I've only got the 2 bottles. Maybe you've got more, or you've got little sachets or whatever you want to use. But if I'm going to run for 3 hours, I would divide it then by 9. So it's going to be about between 4 or 5 dosages from each bottle. But I'm sure people watching this channel and myself, not top athletes, it doesn't have to be exact every time. So it's just about, I just feel how much is left and then just take another sip out of there. The amount of water we add to our solution is going to depend on the amount of carbs we're going to put in. I have worked out how much to put in for 60 grams an hour and also 80 grams and 100 grams. So I would put that in the description, exactly how much water you need to put with each solution to be able to fill up these 250 ml bottles. You need to remember that you cannot just jump into drinking 100 grams of carbohydrates an hour if you've never done this before. Your stomach cannot tolerate that and you'll have a little bit of difficulty during the run and maybe right after the run if you just straight jump into 100 grams or 120 grams or something crazy like that. So you need to train yourself up by starting a little bit lower. I started on 60. The first week there was no issues. The second week on the 60 I did have one day was a little bit of an issue, but then it was just the one day. The next 2 weeks I did 80 grams an hour, and now from tomorrow I'm going to do 100 grams an hour, and I think I'm going to cap 100 grams an hour. I just heat it up to ease the process of dissolving. How I do it is I don't like to put the pot that I dissolve it in directly on the stove. What I like to do is do it indirectly. So I've got one pot that I'm going to fill with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to put that on the stove, and from there it's going to generate the steam, which will go through this attachment that is on it, and then I'll make my solution in here, put it in here inside the steam, and then that will heat my solution so that my sugars do not burn. Okay, we've got our pot with water. It's not completely full, it's about halfway, so I'm going to put that on the stove so long so it gets to start heating up. Now the next step is to measure out our quantities. These 2 bags I just bought recently. I just show you how it's packaged. This is how I store it. I put it in these containers. So we just need to make sure that we tar out our scale so it shows 0. And we're going to start putting in 100 grams. This is the fructose. Okay, there we are, 100 grams of fructose. Then you can clear your scale again. Now the 100 grams of maltodextrin. Okay, there you go. Then I also like to add 1 bag of salts. And these are flavored. This is actually apple flavored, just to give it a little bit of flavor in. So just add that together. From experience, I know that I need about 350 milliliters of water to be able to make this solution fit into 500 milliliter bottles. So let's get 350 water in here. Now we can put that on the stove. Now we just have to wait for that solution to heat up a little bit, and then we can start mixing it and dissolving the sugar into the water. If we take a look at our water, we can see the water is boiling, creating steam. So that steam is now rising up through here and heating up our solution. So as you can see, we don't have any more undiluted particles in here. It's not going to be clear. If I didn't put in the salt, it would have been clear actually. But because I put in the salt, it's got this murky color. You don't want it to be too hot, as you don't want this to start evaporating and then making your solution stronger. Now we've got our solution cooled down enough to be able to fill the bottles. I made myself a little 3D printed holder that I can just twist on here. I just drop the bottle, use one of these, because if you spill any of this, it's very sticky. Remember, this is just very concentrated sugar water, so it's going to be very sticky if you spill any of it. So let's start. Luckily it pours quite easily. That's the first one. Now for the second one, let's see how accurate I was with the water. Okay, it's not completely full, so we might add a little bit of water. Let's see how much. So we needed 30 milliliters more of water. So on this recipe, we need to put in 370 milliliters of water to dilute in with the glucose. And then we will be able to fill 2 250 milliliter bottles. And that's it. 250 milliliters of running gel, or running liquid in this case actually. Just gonna throw this now in the fridge, and then tomorrow when we're gonna run, I just take it in my pack and I'm gonna sip on it as I do my run. Thanks for watching.